we were at Northwestern last year for our Big Tens, and that was the last place I had seen my brother alive. So like I went into like shock when I was wrestling. They did a hospital EEG. They found out I had a brain tumor on my right optic nerve, and they told me that was the cause of the seizure. So there was no way to remove the tumor actually. So I still have it. You're never gonna believe it. Everyone wants me to move to Cleveland, and I gotta go to this school called St. Edward High School.
Today we've got NCAA qualifier Tyler Lilliard on the show. He was a 2024 and 2025 NCAA qualifier. He wrestled at Indiana University, but that's not even close to the full story. Tyler's dealt with a brain tumor removed as a kid. He lives with epilepsy. He's legally blind after losing his vision, much of his vision at 9 years old, and the doctors even told him he might not walk again. On top of all that, he's dealt with the loss of his brother JJ, and somehow he's still competing at a high level in college. This interview isn't just about wrestling. It's going to be about perspective and a couple different things. So, Tyler Lillard, I'm super happy to have you on, man.
Dude, super happy to be on here, man. It's a blessing and it's an honor to even be on this podcast. I love what you're doing with this, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So let's just get right into it. I always ask the guys to start off. How did you get into wrestling and who got you into it?
It's funny. My mom and I, so we moved from Southern Illinois to Georgia because my mom took a job at Pepsi. And I remember it was like third grade. They were handing out these like wrestling flyers, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, mom, I want to do this. And I came home and she's like, dude, that's so stupid. Like, I'm not taking you to wrestling. I said, no, mom, you gotta go, you gotta go. So like, there's a whole camp and there's like a meeting and everything about like you should definitely go. And she's like, that's stupid, but I'll go for you. And so I went, and like the coaches are talking to my mom about nutrition. My mom was like, this is so dumb. He's 7 years old. He doesn't need to talk about nutrition. Like, he's still growing. That's
Right.
the dumbest thing ever. Now, mind you, my mom has like a science and chemistry background, so she's all about like, dude, like, he's gonna grow, okay? Like, let life do life first. And like, I'm not cutting my kid down. That's dumb, and I'm not letting him wrestle. That's stupid. And so, I went to like the first clinic. The coach was like, "Oh yeah, he's got like great technique already, and he seems like a natural." My mom was like, "He's 7. That's dumb. How do you know he has good technique at 7?" And I went to my first tournament. I went 0-2. I think I got pinned, and then I came close to winning one, but like I actually didn't. And we got in the car. My mom was like, "Dude, you see what I mean? Like, this is not really like an easy sport. Like, this is not fun. Like, what were you doing out there?" I was like, "No, no, this is really fun. Like, I gotta go again. Like, I'm gonna get better." So she took that advice. I kept going. I started winning matches. Then I got like good, like somewhat good towards my second year. Like second year, I was like going out to like I went from beginner tournaments like to 2 years of experience to like I would be my second year beating like 5 year experience guys. So it was like, mom, I told you, you just gotta trust the process. And
Yeah,
since then we're here now. So
100%. Was there ever a match where you were, or like a match or a tournament or like a specific point where you're like, man, I'm pretty good at this. Like I might be able to do this and like maybe wrestle in college or, compete at a high level basically.
I would say there was a tournament. My coach Charlie Morris, he took me to this tournament up in North Carolina, and it was like, oh, whoever wins gets like a huge belt. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, you're taking me, so I should probably try to compete. And like, I went to the individual tournament, and like I started like beating people that were like state champions, and like this is like my third year of like wrestling. So I was like, oh, I'm decently good. Okay, like I'm at a national tournament now. Mind you, like I went to VACs and went like 1-4 like months prior to this. So I went there. I was like, dang, first national duel, not so good. Then I bounced back here. I was like, dang, I just want a belt. I pinned like the dude who was like a two-time champion of that tournament, and then like I won an important dual match for us, and I was like, whoa, okay. I'm like, I'm actually kind of good. Then like we get more into like my fifth year, sixth year of wrestling, and I remember I won like I had like a horrible like tough bracket, and like my fourth year of wrestling. My fourth year of wrestling, I ran into Jackson Smith, and he
Tough.
beat me. And then like that year, I think I also like ran into Caleb Henson. Now, mind you, like this is when Georgia was at like somewhat peaking, right? So like we were all still kids. Dude, I couldn't beat those kids. In the next year, like I kept getting like third place, third place. My fifth year, I was like, dude, I'm going to win state this year. And I ended up like winning state, and I pinned the kid in the finals after he like was winning. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually good at this sport. Okay, we have to keep training. This like I can't stop like doing this. So we got like my coach was like, dude, you're like so good. You gotta move. And I was like, move? I'm not moving from Georgia. That's like this is the part where I turned into my mom. I was like, no, that's dumb. I'm not, I'm sorry, coach, but I'm not moving. And so my coach had the book The Edge, which funny you have it in the background, but he had The Edge and he gave it to me and he said, I want you to read this in a week, and then I want you to like go up to Ohio. So like I already had to go to Ohio. We went to like Toledo Nationals. I went 8-0 for Team Bro. And everyone was like, "Who's this kid? Who's this kid?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm not moving. I would not move at all." My coach was like, "Dude, you better go back up there because people's like parents were coming up to my mom like, dude, you gotta check out the school called St. Edward." And my mom was like, "No, that has to be the dumbest thing I ever heard." So we get home. My mom was like, dude, like you're never gonna believe it. Everyone wants me to move to Cleveland, and I gotta go to this school called St. Edward High School. It was dumb, and my coach heard about it. He was like, St. Edward's, and like made us go back like a week later. So like that's when I realized I was starting to get like good. I was like, oh shoot, like this is actually like this is real. Maybe I can actually go to college, and I wanted to go to Illinois for the longest because my mom went to Illinois, but like I was like, all right, I'm going D1. I want to go to Illinois, and then I chased the dream, and obviously I didn't go to Illinois, but we're in the Big Ten, and I can't really complain. I love Indiana, so it's
Heck
great.
yeah. Yeah, no, Indiana's a pretty cool school. I actually took a visit out there, and you guys have some pretty crazy facilities, honestly.
We
Um,
do, and they're always improving it, especially with that new football team and the money that they're bringing in now. There's there's so many improvements going around.
yeah, it was years ago, but it was your guys' like calf, the athlete calf, kind of like overlooked the football stadium. Is
Oh
that still
yeah,
today?
that's still there.
Yeah, dude, I remember that like being like, dang, that's pretty freaking sweet. And then your guys' weight room is pretty crazy as well. And no, you guys got some pretty cool facilities there. So
Oh,
um,
for sure.
but anyways, I know you talked about your mom a little bit there. Talk to me a little bit about how big of an influence she's had on your life and what she's done for you, I guess.
She's she's probably like she's the reason all of this has actually happened. I'll say that. Without her like pushing me to this point, or like without her like making the sacrifices she did for me, I don't think I'll be able to sit here and have this conversation with you or be in the position I'm in today. Like she
Yeah.
literally helped me through everything I've been through. Like even picking a college, because like we were in COVID when I had to like when I was starting getting like recruited, I was like, dang, I'm in COVID, bro. Like I don't know, because this is normally where the part where I'm like, oh, okay, I can go plan my visits. I can't really do anything. I don't know anybody. I don't know what to do. And my mom like helped me out. She's like, look, like you got to get an education somewhere. Like that's number one. If your grades aren't good, you ain't really going anywhere. So like, got to get your education right. I was like, okay, sure, yeah. And she was like, just think of like core values that you want out of a team. And so like I kept divvying it down, and she's like, all right, what major do you want to go? So like that's when Indiana like hit my like top list. But funny enough, like I didn't even I called Indiana saying, hey, I'm like really interested in your school. You guys have a great program. You guys have the major I want to pursue. Like my mom helped me with all of that. So like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here today. And you know, she's still making it happen for me right now. She's helped me get an internship over the summer. That's like a really high paying internship, and I don't have to leave Bloomington, so I can still train. Yeah, she's awesome
Yeah, so obviously I've done a little bit of research on your story, man, but I want you to get into a little bit from the epilepsy, from, you know, being blind, not blind, but, losing your vision, um, man, everything you've gone through, the seizures, losing your brother, like, kind of give me a timeline of when all that happened, and then we'll kind of get into it from there.
for sure. Dang, I was young when I got diagnosed with epilepsy. I want to say I was 8. So my first year of wrestling, I was like halfway through the year, and I remember I was super sick before school. Like my mom got me up, and I was puking everywhere. I couldn't I didn't feel like good at all. Like bad diarrhea. I was like, okay, dude, this like I can't go to school. I'm sick. I have a headache. I'm puking. I can't get out of the bathroom. Like it's bad. So the time I actually like stood up, I like went into an episode, and my mom had to call 911. They had to get like a towel underneath my head because and like I forgot what she did, but it was like this thing where like people with epilepsy, like you can't let them like choke on their tongue or something like that. So like it's more like it's dangerous now, but the old like tactic was finger to the mouth and like stopping the choking. But yeah, it was super bad, and I came out of the episode, went to the hospital. They're like, "Are you all right?" I was like, I'm fine now." Like my first thought was, "Dang, I should have just had something else for dinner. I probably wouldn't be here right now. Like, I'll be fine by tomorrow." And I apparently I was not fine by tomorrow. So like they kept doing more tests, and I found I had epilepsy like halfway through my first year of wrestling, like ever. And it was like the weirdest experience because like they kept having me like do testing. I had like another like grand mal seizure exactly like my first one, like not even months later. And it was like just so much like my mom had to like help me through and things like when you're 7 years old trying to figure it out, like you look around at your classmates, you're like, dude, all my classmates are healthy. I don't see anyone like, I don't know, like convulsing on the floor, like throwing up everywhere. Like, why can't I be a normal kid? So I get into my second year of wrestling, and I had a great year, but I was still doing like testing. So like one day halfway through, like I went to Children's Hospital, and they did a hospital EEG. They found out I had a brain tumor on my right optic nerve, and they told me that was the cause of the seizure. So there was no way to remove the tumor actually. So I still have it, and it pinches on my optic nerve, so it affects my vision. That's always why I'm wearing the glasses. Or like even when I was like still in middle school, they had us do like blind touch start, and I either had to get foam over my like goggles, or I couldn't wear the goggles at like certain tournaments. And yeah, having epilepsy as a kid was rough. I remember, but like I remember they told my mom I'd go blind one day, and obviously I didn't hear that as a kid, but she told me the news, and she's like, "Will you be okay?" And like I was a very optimistic kid, so I was like, Mom, like if I go blind, like the day I go blind, at least God allowed me to see the things that He wanted me to see, and if the day He closes my eyes, is the things He didn't want me to see. So just we gotta push through. We gotta keep doing the things that I love to do. And so second year of wrestling, like the second year of wrestling ends, I'm sent up to Mayo Clinic in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I had like 5 brain treatments. Like it was insane. I get home, I was like, Mom, I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be a kid, right? my coach, Coach Charlie Morris, he sends a Facebook message to my mom saying, "Hey, you should bring the kid in. We love to have him." And my mom's like, "He doesn't want to wrestle. He's just not motivated anymore." And my coach kept trying to convince her. She said, like, kept telling her everything. So then he says, "Well, listen, like that kid is like he can be a healthy kid, but if you don't bring him in now, he could die, right?" which was kind of true. So I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm going to practice." So like it was one Sunday. I was going into my third year of wrestling, but I wasn't really wrestling yet. We got out of like church. I have like a polo on, a pair of jeans, and no wrestling shoes. I'm in like ankle socks, and I'm just like watching practice. I'm like, bro, I don't really want to do this. So every Sunday, my mom would do that, and I ended up getting back on the mat. Like, just I wouldn't even wrestle with shoes on. I would just like same old polo, pair of jeans, ankle socks, and I just wrestled. And then like I got back into it and I started enjoying it again. So got really just had a lot of fun with that. And then towards the end of high school, or not high school, middle school, like I moved to Ohio, went to St. Edward High School up in Lakewood. And that's when I was like, okay, like I'm probably gonna get recruited at this school. I think I'll be okay. So like my first year at my first and last year at Eds, like I was racially harassed like a lot. Like I never go to like I don't want to be here at the school. So like April comes around, we go to I think it was like Western Regionals. Yeah, we went to Western Regionals. And the head coach, he went out there just to coach me through Greco. And so like that made me like almost change my mind. I was like, you know what? Maybe like the coach sees something in me. Maybe he'll defend me. I came back and like was starting to get like harassed again. And like I I wanted to like take my own life. I didn't want to like I didn't want to be alive anymore. So I was like, bro, like I don't think I should be at this school. Like I'm sad. I hate it. I'm at the point where I may hate wrestling. Like I can't do this. Sophomore year, I transferred to Aurora, Ohio. Like at the time I was already training with like Arsenal. So I was like, dude, like where are all these cool people at? I'm like, I'm in Cleveland and you guys are like Macedonia. Like I hate Cleveland. Like I hate Cleveland. Like get me out of there. So I transferred to Aurora. Like and at the time it was it was me, Fishback, Dave Cumberledge, and the forgot their last names, but the Anderson brothers, right? And I was like, okay, like this is a change. And then but I was like, there's like no other like people that look like me. I don't really know where to go. And they're like, oh dude, we always hang out with the copy people. I was like, oh great. Like I'll be hanging out with you guys then. So like I got like really acclimated to like Aurora, but like I was always still getting like crazy threats from like people on like online, like anonymous threats. So like I kept getting like followed through there. We were at like the state dual qualifiers. Someone had like brought up ads. I had a panic attack like there. Like I kid you not, we like 2 matches before we wrestled you guys. Um I had like the worst panic attack. I teched the guy, ran off the mat, like singlet straps ripped down, and I said like, dude, I quit. I don't want to wrestle anymore. And I was sitting in the hallway like freaking out because I was like having a really bad like episode. So we we wrestled the rest of the day. Obviously, everything handled itself. I like finally built up like the ability to tell my mom, I was like, mom, like last April, because we were in like February at the time. I was like, mom, like last April, I tried to like take my life, and you stopped me from doing it. It was weird. Like when I did it, my mom called my name, and I was like, yo, oh shoot, like this is a bad idea. I I shouldn't. And then like I had fought the feeling for like the longest of time. Didn't tell anybody, went to go get help. And like when COVID hit, like things weren't better. So like it was weird. We're all behind our phones, and it's harder to get like counseling because no one can be in person. So I was like, okay, like this is great. Like my whole system is ruined, and I can't even like go get help. But like hanging out with like the guys, I didn't have to think about ads. I didn't have to think about any of the stuff that I went through. And I'm like it helped me. So I was like, okay, like maybe if I just continue to hang out with these guys, things will help.
Right.
Eventually, like that all helped, and I got through high school, the rest of high school, college. I got here, I lost my grandfather on my dad's side of my family, like my freshman year. No one told me about it, and then I found out like through a third party like source, which sucked. And then like obviously what happened in 2024. Like my my brother like was hit on a bike. So he was biking to like he didn't drive or have a vehicle. So he like would bike to work, and it's like 6 o'clock, and he got like hit on his side. So like femur shattered, pelvis snapped in half, and it like he had a really like gruesome accident. Like it was bad. And so like he was fighting for like 9 days. They had to amputate his leg like because they were trying to save his life, and he was brain dead. And yeah, September 29th was the hardest day of my life. And the funeral probably was like even harder, I would say. Actually, I'll say the funeral was the hardest because like that was the last time I got to see my brother. But they didn't tell me I was a pallbearer, so I found out I was the head, like I was going to be the head pallbearer. And I'm walking out, and like I couldn't hold it together anymore. Like as soon as we put his body in the car, I broke down and I cried. I was on the ground. Like we were in Michigan, and I was just outside like hyperventilating. I couldn't breathe. Yeah, like probably worst day of my life. And I couldn't keep it together.
Yeah.
Then like and like for like the whole time that everything was going on, like I wasn't eating. Like I couldn't eat. I went to the nutritionist. I was like, dude, anything solid, I can't eat it. I'll take like one bite of food, and then I'd feel sick. So I wouldn't eat the rest of the food, like wherever we went. And I went to the nutrition. I was like, dude, I can't eat food. Like, but I know this is bad because I have to perform and I have to wrestle and all this other stuff. And like I had like a couple of family members like they're like, dude, like you gotta rest. Like you gotta like something traumatic just happened to you. You gotta rest. And I said no, and I denied it. Some people encouraged that I took like a medical rest share. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm going to wrestle. And I was like, I was like deathly sick. Like I didn't eat for like a month. I was like on a liquid protein diet for a month, and I couldn't like, right. I couldn't get out of it. But like I would like I was holding on to everything of my brother, and but like I was like, dude, I got to do something for him. So something that helped me like through that whole year. Like I had a pair of shoes. I actually have a pair of shoes with me now. Um, the blue shoes I got, and they always reminded me of my brother, and they always like helped me realize like he's always there no matter what. So I'll always wear those on competition day. It helped me like be closer. And man, like I got through the year, and I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I should take a break. Then I didn't take a break and went to the U.S. Open, made it to the blood round, lost to Peyton Hall. It was an All American that year, right? Like, and on the front side, I lost to Taro Bear Cloud. I'm like, see, like I'm not doing bad. I just needed a break. And then like a month later, I wrestled in the U23 World Team Trials, and I was so close. I took fourth and lost in the semis to Daniel Cardenas, and then I lost to who did I lose to? Brandon Cannon in the Conci finals. And now I was like I was butt hurt, but like I couldn't get out of my head. And then over the summer, like my internship really helped me because it's just like, all right, not life. Like life is not about like just wrestling. Life is
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
like what you make of it. And I joined a church. I'm a part of like a church now, so I serve at the church I go to, which is called City Church All Nations of Bloomington. I do hospitality there. They helped me through like a lot of my pain and a lot of my coping. And this year has actually been like really like a lot better for me because it's like, oh, okay, like I'm sure my brother would be happy that I was doing the thing I love to do. He like if he was here, he'd be smiling. And I always kept telling myself that because it was like
Right,
my brother just loved he loved to see me do the things I love to do. So I don't want it to be like I'm sad and I'm still wrestling through the pain. It's like I'm happy and my brother will love to like if he was here, he would love to see how happy I am doing the thing I love to do. And it helped me. Like today I think I'm in a much better position than where I was. And like I look back at like the last year and versus like this year, I'm like, dang man, like I made a lot of jumps. I went through a lot of things and like life hasn't really stopped, but like things things have been better, like
for
I
sure.
just keep working hard. And like if I'm not okay, I go get help, and if I am okay, like that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's where, yeah, man, that story is so powerful. And man, honestly, I didn't even know through all the things you went through, honestly. And that it's just crazy that you kind of come out the end of that and you're still freaking, top 15 wrestler, trying to be an All-American. And obviously your style was super fun to watch. Um, so a bunch of different things, man. I think that story is insanely powerful. I don't even really know how to put words to it. Like when you were talking at certain points, I was getting goosebumps there just because um, that's just a really, really powerful story. So um, we only got, it's just a free version. I only got like 10 minutes left here. So we'll probably have time for like maybe one more question. I don't know how much time you got. I forgot to talk to you about that off camera, but
No, you're good. I got plenty of time. I don't got anywhere to be till like 2:30, so I'm
okay,
good.
cool. Cool. Yeah. We'll ask another question here because I got like 7 or 8 minutes on this free version. We'll cut it. And then I got like 3 or 4 minutes of technique if you're down to break down some stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Um, man, dude, you hit so many good points there. I would dude, I kind of want to get into a little bit more of like, dude, I guess the mental side of that, because I've like, man, I've been through 3 surgeries in college, and I do understand like, I guess the physical side of like, man, dude, you're really chasing a goal and you think you're gonna get somewhere, and then, you know, 2 years in a row, you freaking tear your ACL or tore my lisp frank ligaments in my foot at count for
Yeah.
freshman year. Um, yeah, I mean, so just different surgeries and that. So like I do know that like, man, that's really, really hard. But yours are a little bit different. So I kind of want you to talk about like that mental side and man, like how you get through it. Just for someone, if they're a younger kid watching and they're like, man, I think my situation's tough. I want you to kind of, obviously they probably already heard like, man, my situation probably ain't as bad as that. But talk to me a little bit, I guess, about the mental side of that.
Um, for any kid that's like out there, I would say no situation is comparable. I don't think I don't think any struggle, trauma, um, circumstance, testimony is comparable. So your struggle is as bad as your neighbors, and you never know, right? As far as the mental, it, it was rough, man. Like I had like a lot of sleepless nights. Like I like if I had if they were doing a sleep study on me, I would have failed miserably because I had like half the year I couldn't like sleep. And like we like sometimes at tournaments or like matches and day before, like I could not sleep because I was up just like thinking, and I couldn't get out of my head. So like mentally it was rough. No, like I like there's no like I don't think there's any part of the story where it's like, dang, man, like that part was better than it. No, like all like the whole process in itself is rough. But like one thing I wish I did more was ask for like more help and like not try to fight through the pain myself. Like I shut down on a lot of people and I didn't really express like mentally what I was going through. So like that grief would like show up on my face in like practice. Dude, we were at like we were at Northwestern last year for our Big Tens. And that was the last place I had seen my brother alive. So like I went into like shock when I was wrestling. And yeah, like I didn't ask for help. And I went 0-3 in that tournament. And I got pinned by a kid that I was like beating. Right. So um like mentally I was not there. And if I could go back and tell myself who's going through it, like, yo, bro, go get help. Like, go, like, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle. Like, people, people go through things all the time. It's how you handle those things. And you don't truly want to be alone. You may feel like you want to be alone, but don't ever put yourself in that alone space because it's dark. It's dark. And you know, there's people out there that care about you that want to be there for you. And, like you have a lot of support systems around you more than you know. So just opening up about what you had gone through is important. So that's what I would tell any person, any kid who's watching this, like it's a struggle. But like you have the right people in your corner and life is gonna be all right on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. We'll finish with this. I want you to rank the top five wrestling states in order.
Ooh. And oh my God.
You
Um
can take a
okay.
second. Think.
Folk style only, or like,
Yeah, let's do folk style only.
mm, hmm.
I've never had anyone ask me that, by the way.
You see, because like if we were doing like freestyle or Greco, I'd be like, all right, Illinois has to be somewhere in there, like top
Yeah,
five
that's actually right
easily.
where my head went to as well. It's right where my head went to when you said that. I was like, Illinois
So
would probably be higher.
I'm okay. I'm gonna say an underrated one in terms of like let's go with production. Like in terms of any production, I'm gonna say Indiana's an underrated one.
I agree.
We had CJ Red, Nick Lee, Mason Paris. Like we got a couple of underrated guys here. My next one, see, this is difficult because I know who I want to say, but like I honestly want to say like New Jersey. I feel like New Jersey is like a really tough team. They always place high at like Fargo
Yep.
and stuff, or even if like you go back and like do Super 32, like you see all those people from like New Jersey like finishing top 8 all the time. So I'm gonna say New Jersey. They even had like what they had Anthony Knox, they had Seabass over there.
Had
Tough
some dog.
state, tough state. Number three, I'm gonna say PA. PA's I feel like they've been on a come up recently too, especially with like the Bassett brothers, the Miller kid. Dude, they have a lot of young talent, and then they had a lot of production too. So like, and if
Yeah.
you want to go to like a really good school, you guys have like Pitt, Penn State. Um, I won't even sleep on Drexel or UPenn. They have tough talent coming out of there. Sean Seafeld's over there, like tough kid. He gave me a run for my money. Like those are scrappers. I wouldn't even sleep on those guys. Number two, that's you see, that's difficult. I'm gonna say New York though. I feel like no one really talks about New York wrestling, but if you think about it, like they had like Mark Hall, who was like a 6 timer, I believe, or PJ Duke came out of there. I got a teammate from New York. He's a tough scrapper. Like
Yep.
those New York boys, they can scrap. And number one, because we're sitting on this podcast, and if I don't say it, it will be a crime. I'm gonna say
Let's go.
Ohio wrestling is number one. And I'll go with like historical stats. You got Shoemate and Fishback who were both wrestling against each other in the Fargo finals. And look at them now; they're teammates at Ohio State. I'm here still making a lot of noise on the scene. Um, like I said, Seafeld
Oh,
really tough.
yeah.
Gallagher is up at Ohio State. Who else? Like there's just countless names, and I can keep going
Yeah.
down the list and give you guys like historical stats, but I feel like Ohio's on top in terms of production. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, we got literally a minute left and this is gonna end. So, dude, I really, really appreciate having you on. And I'm excited to break down some technique, man. That's always my favorite part of these is getting
oh, for
inside the head
sure.
of the guys and freaking talking some wrestling for sure. So we'll cut it here. Again, I appreciate you having me on or having you on. And I'm excited to break down some technique here in a second.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh,